Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. Want to give another quick update for everyone. On this account, I have just gotten E3 Katherine, and I thought I'd share a little bit about the experience and journey getting there, right? And I think as you watch through this entire playthrough series with some spending, you get a sense of what's kind of required for different kind of towers and teams. I think free to play to get this beginner challenge, right? Hazanja, we're into week 4. If you want to get 320 stars, round 3, I think some people already shared the faction abyss. You can, if you time your regressions properly in the first week with a little bit of luck on the hero pulls, you can probably do it free to play. With 320 stars, it's definitely a little bit of out of our reach, because there are certain heroes or certain situation that makes this so much easier. So for example, I did 25 floors on green with just a single Moshi E3. We're going to just quickly do a playthrough of this, just to show you how kind of ridiculous this is. We're going to just play through this. A single Moshi cleared all 25 floors. And this means Moshi did enough damage on stage 24 to break through shields. That's how hard she hit. Right, this is kind of like Moshi madness here, just all by herself. I'll show her stats in just a moment, but completely just deleting all content by herself. And her self-sustain when she loses her form. Look at that. Just completely disgusting. So we're at stage 25, right? I don't have any green heroes built. Now, I do have a little bit more DPS from Veronica not built, but if I were to put in a Marvel or even a E5 Maya, I do feel like I should have no problem clearing 26, possibly 27, because she can single target very well as well. To just focus on the boss, you just need a little bit of survivability. I'm not sure about 27, absolutely sure about 26. To get to 320, you need to on average clear most of the 27s or even 28s. I will say with this team right now, I just need a Nordak. If I have Nordak in here, I can easily get probably, even I would think, get past 28. I have a good feeling about it, because really right now I have no problem getting to the boss. It's more about survivability. I don't have a shield. It's really hard when the boss is hitting that hard. I am going to regress. I am very, very tempted, very tempted to convert my Allcaster into Nordak to just push green as hard as I can to make that happen. From a dungeon perspective, if you noticed, Tower Mark, I've gotten past all stage 24 on all of these 3 through brute force, right? I brute forced 24 as well. I brute forced it with timing my hits to go through the shields with Allcaster and Mackin. I think it's viable. Now, of course, if you have other DPS that can kind of just squeeze right in between, break that shield, you can do it without a strip. If you have a strip, makes your life super easy. If you're unlucky, if you don't have a strip, you might be stuck at 24. 27, Mackin doesn't help because his attacks always hit 3 targets, so it's really hard. You need a single target DPS here. This is where, if I remember correctly, I actually did 27 relatively easily with just Sigmund, Wim, and Katherine on my old account, my original account, and we are all getting a Sigmund in a few more days. So hopefully, timing wise, we can get Sigmund. We get Sigmund done before the beginner manual runs out. We have 6 more days left on this challenge. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. Now, the hardest one now is force a mark because I don't have a solid DPS in here. Now, if I did have a solid DPS, I could see myself pushing a little bit further because now everybody has a Santa by week 3 and you should be able to push pretty far. What I did was I literally just put the best gear on this team for everyone, and I was able to get past 18 no problem. It was a little bit of a DPS check, but like just Santa plus a whole bunch of support. Santa's going to keep everybody alive, not a problem, and then everybody just focus on DPSing on the main target. I feel like 19 is possibly doable as well. I think 20 the boss start to get to a little bit more extra health where you actually need a proper DPS build. I think, you know, if you happen to have a decent DPS in the force mark, like here, like the fact that I pulled Barry, it's a possibility, right? I could, in theory, for example, regress Anna for Barry, and I feel like that could be a good option for me to use Barry as a main DPS and get a few extra points over here. Overall, if I look at my regression count, I have 3 left. I am going to make an attempt for 320 stars before end of this week. Sorry, before the event is over. In the grand scheme of things, if we count the number of quests here, right? Hero quest wise, I'm at 520. If I really do 50 a day, right? In 5 days, I should be able to get my segment. So hopefully with the regression and everything, I should be able to get that done. So fingers crossed. We're gonna make a serious push for it, and I'll update you guys, you know, in another video. On a separate note, you definitely should try Brave Trials. You can see right now I am ranked 2nd right now. And as you go through, yes, I know my team is really strong right now with the introduction of Santa into my team, and of course getting a Moshi E3. You can see, well, with the exception of this team because they also have Atkins, I was able to outspeed everybody and then do a two-turn freeze and just kill everyone. Now, if you're stuck, however, there are 20 assists you can borrow. And often what I like to do is I will borrow, Draw and blank. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. We'll borrow her. You know who she is. The very recent limited that we have all gotten and flooded the market with it. I'll put a Hazanja with her. And what happens is she is going to do her ultimate. Everyone's going to be dotted once. Now, a lot of the time, that's not enough to trigger her passive. So Hazanja, with an E1 Hazanja, you trigger the burn dots one more time. And usually that's enough to trigger the passive. So that's how I got through trial stage 10, which was a lot harder. And of course, remember to pick up your blessings, right? In this case, I will pick up a lot of speed buffs, HP buffs, mastery buffs to use with that combo, and you should be able to get through. These event coins, they're helpful. Early on, it's a little bit harder to get in the event store. Don't bother with Rian. Back then, we would have all gotten copies of Rian. Rian used to be like in our 3s teams a lot. Because at Rian, at E3, he could do, I think, a 40% turn meter reduction. At exclusive, increase the turn meter reduction by 10%. So it's like push their enemy turn meter back by 30%, which was huge, right? At that point in time. Nowadays, there's plenty of limited, plenty of different heroes. Rian isn't even relevant in the meta anymore. So every month, however, you should be able to get enough to definitely buy out the miracle runes. You should buy out all the Star Dragon eggs. I will highly recommend that. Alternatively, you could always, pick up a little bit more on the energy. The EXP potions are a bit expensive. Like, I would always just do Star Dragon eggs, especially early on, because food is always an issue early on in the game. So, having extra event coins, of course, helps. So Brave Trials doesn't take too much time and effort. You can just skip right through. So highly recommend it, and especially if you can rank high. It's really helpful there. So anyways, with this update, let me know in the comments below how you're progressing on your new accounts, or how you find this playthrough, because at least for me, it's helping me with gaining a completely fresh, different perspective on what works early game and what doesn't. Like right now, you can see my new team. This is the one I'm running on defense. On offense, I'm taking out Katherine and putting the Santa. Like I'm literally beating out pretty much some of the toughest opponent. Like think here, Gigalucker. Was it Gigalucker, or who was the one? The only team I wasn't able to beat was this one because they had a Fiona E1. And for those of you who have Fiona or picked Fiona, right? Fiona at E1 is such a great disruptor against CC teams. Other than that, beating the biggest player like Bad Boy, yes, he beat me, but I beat him back. Here you can watch this match where he's got E3 Katherine. He's got a very tanky team. But this is, I think, a great example of how that permafreeze really made a big difference. You see that permafreeze is down. My Moshi went through, but I wasn't able to make a kill. Now, normally in this case, if they had Katherine, they would have unfroze, took a double turn, everybody's cleansed, the Santa would have came, everyone would have came back on, the Nordak would have put the immunity, but I wouldn't have managed to survive that. But however, with this particular setup, that permafreeze definitely is quite something. I'm even contemplating whether I should take out Katherine, because really I don't see that many Nizels yet. I don't see the Nizels. I don't see the Nizels. I think only one person invested into Ascendo, so I feel like at this point in time, this might be even a more solid defense. I'm just pushing my way right through. Again, arena events on, great opportunity to be still farming up those. Again, really take advantage of the events early game, right? Like right now, I think we're still part of only one zone, like only one server. Maybe we're at 2 servers now, but really take advantage of that. Of course, right now, double altar is on for the emblem, so don't forget to farm these while you have the double event on. Definitely is a lot cheaper to farm it during this period of time, so don't forget to use a little bit of energy for farming this. Okay, so that's all from me, and I'll catch you next time. Gandalf out.